Gurunadar, His Holiness Maharanyam Shri Shri Muralidhar Swamiji, by the Paramakripa of Madhuri Saki Sameda, Premika Varada Thakurji, by the grace of Ponnu Guruvayurappan, we are really blessed to learn Narayaniyam, very beautiful devotional hymn written by Sri Narayana Bhattadri, who is suffering from intense arthritis and rheumatism. He was crippled, he could not walk, he has so much pain, and he was carried to the temple of Guruvayur by his brother, and by the advice of his guru and with the grace of his Gurunadar, he started composing Narayaniyam, which is narrating the leelas of Guruvayurappan, leelas of our Bhagavan, narrating all the avataras of Narayana. And so we have already seen, we have seen the Varaha Avatara in Canto 12 and 13. We saw Kapila Avatara in 14 and 15. And then we saw Narasimha Avatara, we saw Prithu Avatara, then we saw Narasimha Avatara in 24-25. And last week we saw Gajendra Moksha, very beautiful. After every, at the end of every canto, our Narayana Bhattadri will say, please cure me of my ailment. Pahimam sarvarogan. He'll beg to Guruvayurappan and say, tell him, please cure me. He will be writing the stories of Bhagavan, and at the end, he'll make a small mention, please cure my ailment. Like this, bearing the pain, bearing all that discomfort, instead of being in depression and crying and lamenting about himself, Narayana Bhattadri is dwelling on the glories of Bhagavan and using his time wisely and singing the beautiful Avatara for us. Even after 450 years, these beautiful slokas are here for us to learn and enjoy and grow from it. So that is the beautiful prayer of surrender. Our Bhattadri himself shows how he is using his pain, but he's not letting that pain crush him. He's in fact, growing because of it by focusing on Bhagavan, and then at the end, he will say, I'm only a small person, please cure me, why do you delay like this? And so such a beautiful hymn we can all relate in our daily life. So that beautiful Narayanyam pranams to that beautiful Grantha, Sriman Narayanyam. We are coming to the beautiful another episode called Kurma Avatar, Kachap Avatar, or Tortoise Avatar. Before we start, we'll sing a small kirtan. It glorifies the katha, how the katha of Sri Hari makes us, feel enjoyment and bliss. Even though there are difficulties in life, the moment we are spending in the stories and the kathas of Bhagavan, at that moment all our other thoughts, take a back step and we enjoy this time in satsang. So for me, this katha is Jivanam. The story of Sri Hari is my Jivan. One day if the app called, Katha app is not functioning, I get very, restless. Where is my daily Katha today? Like that, I like to hear story from childhood. I always like to hear my Narayaniam Guruji explain stories, and that's why I want to attend class to hear the meaning. And so this song, as Prahlada said, what is the easiest way to attain Bhagavan's grace? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Shravanam, hearing. You don't have to do anything, just come and sit and hear. Shravanam, and then Kirtan. You can also chant the shloka slowly, little by little. If so, for some people you are already used to chanting, for some others it may be new. So slowly you try to get the words, then slowly you get more and more bliss in that. So this is a beautiful song in Tamil. We can tell meaning another time, but for the people who know Tamil, this is a very beautiful song. 1 minute. kadai sadA harikadai ni kele kadai sadA harikadai ni kele bhakthi virakthiyuDan kadai solbavariDam shraddhA bhakthiyuDan kadai bhakthi virakthiyuDan kadai solbavariDam shraddhA bhakthiyuDan kadai sadA harikadai ni kele bhakthi virakthiyuDan kadai solbavariDam shraddhA bhakthiyuDan kadai sadA harikadai ni kele dharmAvathAramAna rAmanin kadaiyaiyum leelAvathAramAna kriShNanin kadaiyaiyum hariyin anantha kadaigaLaiyum hariDasargaLin kadaiyaiyum ni kele kadai sadA harikadai ni kele aShTAnga yogatil uttama palanayum தட்டாமல் நீயும் அடைந்திடவே கஷ்டம் விலகி இஷ்டம் கைகூட காலத்தை நஷ்டமாக்காமல் கதை கேளு sadA harikadai நீ கேளு கவலையை போக்கி அமைதி தந்திடும் அவல நிலை போக்கி ஆனந்தம் அளித்திடும் துவழும் மனதை துள்ளிட செய்திடும் பவழவாயனிவன் கதை கேளு sadA harikadai நீ கேளு கதையில் கேட்டதை கருத்தினில் கொண்டு மனதில் நினைத்து கீர்த்தனம் பாடு ஞான பக்தி விரக்தி வளர்த்து துரிய நிலையை துரிதத்தில் அடைய கதை கேளு sadA harikadai நீ கேளு விஷ்ணுராதன் போல் கதை கேளு விஷ்ணு பிருத்துவை போல் கதை கேளு விஷ்ணுதாசன் ஹனுமன் போல் கதை கேளு விஷ்ணு முரளிதரன் கதை கேளு sadA harikadai நீ கேளு பக்தி விரக்தியுடன் கதை சொல்பவரிடம் ஸ்ரத்தா பக்தியுடன் கதை கேளு sadA harikadai நீ கேளு. So the song is saying katha suno hamesha Shri Hari ka katha suno. Hear the katha of Shri Hari always, and it says hear the katha of Sri Rama dharmAvathAramAna Ram. Hear katha of Rama, hear katha of Krishna, hear katha of Shri Hari, and hear katha of bhaktas of Sri Hari. Always hear katha, and whatever benefit you would get out of doing aShTAnga yoga, you will get it by just hearing katha. Whatever problems and difficulties you have, they will all be resolved by the grace of katha. And do not waste your time and engage yourself in hearing katha. காலத்தை நஷ்டமாக்காமல் கதை கேளு. Then கவலையை போக்கி அமைதி தந்திடும். It will remove your worries and give you peace of mind. அவல நிலை போக்கி ஆனந்தம் அளித்திடும். All the things which are all messed up in our life, we have no control, it will make it all harmonized and it will give ananda for you. And then this mind which is jumping here and there like a monkey, it will make it enjoyable and make it more enthusiastic. And then Pavaravayani, when the beautiful lotus lips of Krishna are like a bimba fruit, and hear about his beautiful katha. Pavaravayani when kada kele, then kadayil ketadai karuthinil kondu, hear the katha as in your class, and then think about it later a little bit. And then manadil ninaithu kirtanam paade, then you say, what did I hear in Gajendra class? What did I hear in Narasimha Avatara? And so think about those now and then what happened? Jnana bhakti virakthi valarndu. Slowly, all that is happening. Jnana, bhakti, and vairagya are growing in us. We are slowly becoming more and more, going to higher and higher state. Turiya nilaya. It will take you to the fourth state called Turiya nilaya. What is that? We only know Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. We know waking state. We know sleeping and dreaming. But we do not know there is a fourth state called Turiya, where you are awake, but you are, in the state of oneness with Bhagavan. That is the state where all the saints are, Mahans are. That is called Turiya state. So you can attain that state just by hearing Katha. So keep hearing again and again. Then you Vishnu Radhan Pol Kadai kELu. Parikshit Mari Kadai. Parikshit attained Moksham. How? By only hearing Katha. He had only 7 days to live. He doesn't have time to do all kind of tirtha yatra or do yoga or japa, nothing. All he did is hear Katha with shraddha and he attained Bhagavan. So here Katha like Parikshit. Then Vishnu Prithu Maharaja says, give me 10,000 years to hear your Katha. More and more Katha I want to hear and think about it. And then Vishnu Das and Hanumanpur. Hanumanji always at the wherever bhaktas are singing Ramayana, Hanumanji first goes there and hears Katha. And here Vishnu Muralidharan Kadaigal. Hear the Katha of Muralidhara, our Krishna and Guruvayurappa. So that is the beautiful message about the
Radhe Shobhaji, we complete the song like this. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, kadai sadA bhakti harikadaiyai. Radhe Radhe, thank you.
Beautiful. So the Katha and the Nama Sankirtana both are enough for us. And without you realizing, we are going, climbing the ladder step by step, going higher and higher, you won't even realize. Where was I and where you are going, you won't even know. Like that, very gently, slowly, it is taking us. So that is the beauty of coming to satsanga. So let us see today's beautiful chapter number 27. Very beautiful sloka, different tune. Durvasa Suravanitapta Divyamalyam Shakraya Swayamupadaya Tatra Bhuyah Nagendra Pratimritite Shashapa Chakram Kakshanti Swaditara Devatam Shajana Durvasa Suravanitapta Divyamalyam शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्र प्रतिमृदिदेशशाप शक्रम् काक्षान्ति स्वदितर देवतां शजाना. They met Indra, and Indra was going somewhere. He was seated on his beautiful elephant called Airavata, the very white elephant, and Indra is seated on the elephant and is going. Durvasa Maharishi comes in the way, and Indra immediately did pranam Radharade, and he did pranam to Durvasa Maharishi. Durvasa Maharishi was wearing, he had just, got blessing and got a garland. And then that garland he was wearing, he was pleased with Indra, so he gave it to Indra. Durvasa Suravanitapta Divyamalyam. A beautiful divine garland he had obtained, and he gave it to Indra. He was wearing it and he took it out and gave it to Indra. Indra, for a minute, is thinking, Are Rishi, old Rishi with long hair and everything, you're wearing something and you're giving it to me. For just a flash, such a thought came for him. And then he gave that garland to his elephant. And the elephant, what the elephant will do, it will act like an elephant. Elephant will act like an elephant. So he took the garland and with his trunk, it pulled it out of its head, and then it put it on the ground and trampled it. All this while Durvasa is watching. Indra didn't keep saying, "Thank you, I got prasad of great Maharishi." He didn't do that. He took the garland, he put it on his elephant, and the elephant just immediately took it out and put it under his feet and trampled it. Nagendra pratimritite shashapa shakram poch. Durvasa Maharshi is already always hot tempered. He's always very kobam, angry person. And so he is the Shiva Amsham, and Rudra or the aspect is there. So he always gets short temper person. So he immediately cursed Indra. You will lose all your auspiciousness. All your Shrihin ho jayenge. Shrihin means losing all their luster. When we become Shrihin means we lose all our radiance, we lose all our energy, our mind loses its steadiness, and it becomes in a conflicted state, dvandva, conflict happen in the mind, and we lose our physical strength, mental strength, and also our material possession. All these, the Shri covers everything. For us, Shri means we say Lakshmi Devi giving coins, not just like that. It is the inward enthusiasm and strength, the mind which has, that also will be taken away when you are Shrihin. So the in mental strength and physical strength and also the material things and good fortune, auspiciousness, all these left the Devatas. They became Shrihin. And this Durvasa Maharishi, Kakshanti Swaditara Devatam Shajana, he is known for his bad temper. How can Guruvayurappan has very kind nature and compassionate and patient, but when it is a little bit of Shiva's aspect, there is he is pleased very quickly, but he also gets angry very quickly. That is the nature of Lord Shiva, and so Durvasa being that way, he immediately gets angry. And so many instances you would see in stories where Durvasa curses very fast. So this Durvasa cursed Indra, and Indra became Shapena Pratita Jareta Nirjarendre. They became aged, they became weak, and then देवेष्वप्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाध्या कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेवाः निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्दमापुः शापेन प्रतिदजरेथ निर्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वप्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु शर्वाध्या कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेवाः निर्वाणप्रभवसमं भवन्दमापुः. Indra, they all devas have a lot of physical strength and have long life, but again and again like this some difficulty will come, and again they lose their strength, and again the tide changes for them. Sometimes devas are in power, sometimes asuras are in power. Bhagavan gives chance to both. So right now we are in Kali Yuga, where the asuras have more strength, it seems. The good people are weakened now. It is the time of the bad people. So the asuras. So like that, it keeps changing. So now the devas became weak, and they aged prematurely. Shapena pradita jareda nirjarendre deveshvapyasurajiteshu nishprabeshu. And then they were defeated by the asuras. Asuras defeated the devas, and so the devas lost all their luster. Then they all met together and say, what should we do? And so all the devas, like Varuna Bhagavan and Indra and all the prominent devas, they all met and then they decided, they tried to do some yaga and other things to, maybe it will go away if we do more puja, but nothing helped. Then they all go to Brahmaji, Sarvadevaha Sharvadya Kamalajametya Sarvadevaha. The devas all go to Lord Shiva, and then with the taking Shiva, they all go to Brahmaji, and then they all of them together come to Guruvayurappan. Nirvana Prabhava Samam Bhavandamapuhu Nirvana Prabhava. Oh Guruvayurappa, you are the one who bestows salvation. They all came to you. So Shiva, Devatas, Shiva, Brahma, all of them together came to Narayana. Nirvana Prabhava Samam Bhavandamapuhu Brahmadhyai Stuta Mahima Chiram Tadani Pradushan Varadapura Parena Damna Ye Deva Didija Vidhaya Sandhim पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वं ब्रह्माध्यै स्तुतमहिमाचिरं तदानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरपरेण दाम्ना ये देव दिदिजकुलै विधाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमथतेति पर्यशास्त्वं. Did stuti of Bhagavan. Brahmaji sang the glories of Bhagavan for a long time. Chiram Tadanim. So all of them are waiting in the milk ocean wherever Narayana is resting on the serpent bed. And only Brahmaji can feel the presence of Bhagavan. So Brahmaji and Shiva can feel. And the Devatas, they just close their eyes and all of them, they're praying. And Brahmaji is singing the prayer for a long time. It's a big prayer. In Bhagavatam, the stuti is given in detail. So here Bhattadri says, Stutim, Stuta Mahima Chiram Tadani. For a long time, Brahmaji sang a beautiful stuti, and then Bhagavan was pleased. Pradushan Varadapura Parena Damna. Bhagavan gave darshan to Brahmaji and the Lord Shiva. So they were able to see Bhagavan. And then Bhagavan is telling, is giving in a loud, beautiful, thunderous voice. Bhagavan is speaking and is telling the Devas and Brahmaji, oh Devas, ye Deva, Didijakulair Vidhaya Sandhim. The time now is favorable for the Asuras. And therefore, you have to be little patient. So now you make peace with the Asuras. And then both of you together churn the milk ocean. Piyusham parimathateti paryashastvam. Brahma, Bhagavan commanded them, saying, you make peace with the Asuras. Bhagavan could have immediately solved the problem of Devatas. But Bhagavan sometimes does leelas. He create lovely stories and charitra. So Bhagavan, he didn't solve the problem just like that. He said, okay, let me make them do some work. So he makes them do work this time. And so he tells the Devas, Bhagavan says, Asuras are powerful now. So they are not just going to give up. So right now you have to be peaceful with them, and then slowly again the tide will shift towards you. Right now it is their time. So you make peace with them and you work with them. What should you do? You should both together churn the ocean. Arey, what a big task that is. The vast ocean. How to churn? You have to use the mountain called Mandara mountain as the churning rod. And what is the rope? The rope to churn, it will be the serpent Vasuki. So using that, you both have to be on both sides and churn the ocean, and many things will emerge from the ocean. First, it will be the Kalakuta wish. Wish will come out first. You should not be affected by that. Then whatever things come, you should not get attached or attracted to anything. You just do it all the way, and then you will get Amritam. So Bhagavan gives instruction like this, and the Devas and Brahmaji and Shiva all understand, and then Bhagavan, it just disappeared. After giving instruction, Bhagavan disappeared. So they all came back, and then the Devas go and meet the Asuras. Who is the leader of Asuras? Mahabali. You're going to see his story, one very dear story for me. Allow Mahabali's story also next. It will come. So they meet Mahabali, he is the leader. And then Indra and says, we want to make peace with you. Don't fight with us, and please be peaceful, and we both have to do complete this task of churning the ocean. So they both agree. Sandhanam kritavati danavai suroghe mandhanam nayadi madena mandaradrim भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ सन्धानं कृतवति दानवैसुरौघे मन्धानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिम् भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् बदरमिवोद्वहन् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्त्वं विनिहितवान् पयः पयोधौ. So they all started to do what Bhagavan said. But every step, Bhagavan is going to be with them. Instead of solving their problem immediately like that, Bhagavan made them work. And in that work, they are going to run into lot of hurdles. So at every step, Bhagavan will come and help them. So Bhagavan always is there to help and guide us. We just need to recognize that and call him. So the difference between Devas and Asuras is this. The Devas, they always ask help to Bhagavan. The Asuras, on the other hand, will say, we already know, we'll do it. That is only difference. The Devas have a surrender attitude. The Asuras say, I am already good, I'll do it. So Bhagavan, this time, he told them to bring the Mandara mountain. It is going to be the churning rod. So to go and get the mountain, the Devas first said, okay. And so the Asuras and Devas, they all started carrying the mountain. They could do little bit, but then they all fell. It was so heavy, they could not carry it all the way and place it on the milk ocean. So they all fell, and some got crushed under the weight, and some of them died. Immediately, Bhagavan, the Devas called Bhagavan for help. And Bhagavan immediately comes and seated on his Garuda, and Bhagavan lifts the mountain as though it is a berry. It's like a small fruit madri. Bhagavan lifted the mountain and very easily he placed it in the milk ocean, and Bhagavan disappeared. Like this, every step Bhagavan will come. So here, Brashtes means the mountain fell in halfway. And then Badaram Ivodvahan Khagendre Sadhyastvam. Odane Bhagavan came in Garuda, and Garuda immediately with Garuda Bhagavan picked up and placed it in the milk ocean, and Bhagavan disappeared. So such a big mountain is just like a small fruit for Bhagavan. It was so easy. Bhagavan just did that and he left. And then now next one, the Adaya Drutamada Vasukim. Vasuki is the great serpent. He is the brother of Adishesha. The 1,000-hooded serpent called Adishesha. His brother is Vasuki, the giant serpent. So he is going to be like the rope. See, imagine that massive scale of this churning, So, Adaya Drutamada Vasukim Varatram Padhodau Vinihida Sarva Bijajale Prarabde Mathanavidau Surasuraistaihi Vyajatvam Kujagamuge Karo Surari आदाय द्रुतमदवासुकिं वरकां पादोदौ विनिहित सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मथनविदौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजात्वं भुजगमुखे करो सुरारी. They all approach Vasuki, the serpent. Devas and Asuras and say, please, will you help us to churn the ocean? Okay, then Vasuki said, okay. And so Vasuki comes, and how much pain he will feel. He's going to be rubbed on the mountain. Can you imagine the strength of Vasuki? He's going to be rubbed in that churning process. So the Vasuki, one is the head side and one is the tail side. So the Devas first say, we'll hold the tail side. Devas first volunteer like that. Asuras say, Are, we are not better than you. We are more superior in strength. Why should we hold the, no, the Devas first said, we'll hold the head. Appo Asura said, we are more superior, we are more powerful, we are ashamed to hold the tail. We'll hold the head, you hold the tail. That was a trick, actually, because the Asuras are going to hold the head, and from the head of the snake, the wish, the very hot flames of poison are going to emerge, and the Asuras are going to suffer the intense poisonous heat coming from the head of the snake. But the Asuras, they were tricked to do like that. For the Asuras, if you tell directly, they won't do. So you have to tell ulta for them. Then only you can get them to do what you want. So for instance, if you want them to hold the head, you will say, first I hold the head. Then Asura say, no, I will hold. Like that, the Devas did the trick. So, Vyajatvam, it was actually Bhagavan's prompting. Vyajatvam bhujagamuke karo suranim. Bhagavan takes care of his bhakta in every step. So Bhagavan says, the dear Devatas, when they hold the mouth, they will feel intense heat and poison. So let Asuras hold the head, let the Devas hold the tail side. And so Devas are on the tail, Asuras are on the head, and they both are churning both sides. Prarabdhe Mathanavidau Surasuraistaihi, and before that, all kind of herbs and different seeds, they are all put in the ocean so that it will become very rich, and then all things will come out. So padodau vinihida sarva bija jale, all kind of seeds and herbs are put in the ocean, and then the ocean, they have started churning. Prarabdhe mathanavidau surasuraistaihi vyajadvam bhujakamuke karo surarim. Very cleverly, Bhagavan made the Asuras hold the head of the snake. Then, Chubdadrav, Chubita Jalodare Tadanim, Dugdavdav Gurudara Bharado Nimagne, Deveshu Vyaditatameshu Tatpriyaishi, Pranaishi Kamathatanum Kathora Prishta. Boliye Kurma Avatar Bhagavan ki Jai. Chubdadrav Chubita-jalodare tadanim dugdhabdau gurudara bharato nimagni deveshu vyaditatameshu tatpriyaishi pranaishi kamathathanum kathora prishtam. Samudram, the ocean is getting churned, right? And then all the mountain, because of the weight of the mountain, it started sinking. The mountain started to sink. When you are churning, the mountain itself is sinking, so they are not able to continue the churning. So the Devas became worried. Deveshu vyatitatameshu tatpriyaishi. So they immediately pray to Bhagavan in their mind. And then Bhagavan, Tatpriyaishi, he is the well-wisher. Who is our well-wisher? Only Guru Ayappan. He is our supreme well-wisher. And he is the one who can really help us also. We may have other well-wishers in the world, but really if we have any problem, they'll say, okay, I'll pray for you. But they cannot do, really help. Only who can help is Guru Ayappan. So he is our supreme well-wisher who is able to, make solve our problem also. Like that, Guru Ayappan, he is the Deveshu Yaditatameshu Tatpriyaishi. Pranaishi Kamatatanum. So in the bottom of the mountain, there is no Aadhar, there is no support to hold the mountain. So the mountain is sinking. So suddenly a beautiful big tortoise emerges in the bottom, and it is able to bear the weight of the mountain on its back. Pranaishi Kamatatanum Kathora Prishtam. This Leela Bhagavan wants to do. So he is, he didn't immediately solve their problem. He said, go churn the ocean, right? So now we see another avatara of Sri Hari called Kurma Avatara. This is the beautiful, big, giant tortoise, very, thousands of miles in length and with a very hard back and very strong kurma is in the bottom, and it is able to hold the mountain on its back. So Katora Prishtam, Pranaishi Kamatathanum. Kamatathanum is the tortoise form with a hard back, Katora Prishtam. So Bhagavan became a tortoise and supported the mountain and stopped it from sinking. And so the same concept we see in the last in the canto of Narayaniyam, where Bhagavan Narayana Bhattadri says, Manjiram Manjunadairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapandam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranadajanamano Mandarodhara Kurmam. What does that mean? The lotus feet of Bhagavan, Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranadajanamano. We are all in Bhranti, we are all in delusion. And so our mind is sinking in the ocean called samsara. And so the lotus feet of Bhagavan, Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranadajanamano Mandarodhara Kurmam. Just like how in the time of ocean churning, you became the tortoise Guruvayappa and you stopped the mountain from sinking. Like that, your lotus feet, they stop the mind of the devotees from sinking in the well of samsara, and it lifts them up. It lifts our minds. So I'm still talking and being enthusiastic, even though samsara outside is kachada, I'm still able to come and sing his glories. Why? He's holding the lotus feet of Bhagavan, is holding my mind and raising it every time before it falls, it raises us. So otherwise people will go into depression. Why so much people are always in depression? Because they forgot Bhagavan. When there is Bhagavan in our life, we cannot be depressed. We keep going, and that lotus feet of Bhagavan are like the tortoise which lifted that mountain. The feet of Bhagavan lift our mind, and it keeps us from sinking. And so that is the concept of Bhattadri says, Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranadajanamano Mandarodhara Kurmam. Mandarodhara Kurmam. Just like in the Kurma Avatara, you lifted the Mandara mountain, like that, your lotus feet, please lift me, lift my mind, and let it not sink in the ocean of samsara. So that is the concept of Kurma Bhagavan. Why Bhagavan comes in which form we do not know. That is always the surprise element. That the Devas or Brahmaji or Shiva did not know that there will be a giant, beautiful Kurma avatar. It just came even for them. And so they are all, so ecstatic and feeling bliss that again Bhagavan is helping us. And so the ocean is, again they continue the churning. वज्रादिस्थिरतर कर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परिगदलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदे कुहरगतेन वर्ष्मणा त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनादमुन्निनेत. Every step Bhagavan comes to help them. So in our life also, if we call, Bhagavan is always giving ideas from within. So new ideas come and we try different things, right? Like that, here Bhagavan helps them again. Vajrati sthiratara katparena Vishnu vistarat parigada lakshayojanena ambode kuharagatena vashmana tvam nirmagnam kshitidaranada unnineda. It is so a heavy back, strong back. It has to hold that mountain, right? So that Bhagavan who is Laksha Yojana, lakh yojana in length and width, Parigada Laksha Yojanena, Ambode Kuharagatena Vashmana Tvam. The mountain which was sinking deep, it was lifted by that Bhagavan as the tortoise. And so, Unmagne Jhadidi Tadadarendre Nirme Durdridamiha Sammadena Sarve Avisha Vitayaganepi Satparaje Vaivasham Parishamayan Abhivritastan Unmagne Jhadidi Tadadarendre Nirme Durdridamiha Sammadena Sarve Avisha Vitayaganepi Satparaje Vaivashyam Parishamayan Avivritastan came up, and then again Devas, and with great enthusiasm they continued the churning. Nirme Durdridamiha Sammadena Sarve Avishya Ditaya Ganepi Satparaje. Slowly they are getting tired more and more. Then Bhagavan only enters into them and relieves their fatigue. Bhagavan removes their tiredness. Every step Bhagavan is there. So Bhagavan Avishya Ganepi Sarparaje Vasuki. The Vasuki serpent became very tired and his body is paining because he's been used as the churning rope. Imagine how it will be painful. So Bhagavan became like an anesthesia for him. He made him numb to the pain. How it will happen? Only Bhagavan's grace. And so Bhagavan will make sure the devotees, like my mother also was very sick in the last stages, and we'll say Amma Valikirda. She'll say smile and say Illai. How? Because Bhagavan is with her, I could feel, She'll never say Amma Valikirda Mudiyale. She'll always be very courageous and fight, firmness and courage. So like that here, Bhagavan made him like anesthesia for them. They felt numb. They did not feel pain. And so, Vaivashyam Parishamayan Avivridastan, he removed their fatigue and he kept making them do the work. And so, again they are continuing to do the work. Now, the mountain, it is coming up and it is not staying in place. So then Bhagavan took another form. He went on top of the mountain and he pressed the mountain so that it will stay in place. That is this shloka. Uddhama Brahmana Javonnama Girindra Nyastaigasthidhatara Hasta Pankajam Tvam Abhrande Vidigirishadaya Pramodade Udbhranda Nunuvurupatta Pushpavarshaha Uddham Brahmana Javonnamagirindra Nyastaigasthiratarahasta Pankajam Tvam Abhrandi Vidigirishadaya Pramodade Udbhranda Nunurupatta Pushpavarshaha. When the mountain was whirling very fast now, then it came up. It is not staying in place. So again, Bhagavan put his lotus hand. Nyastaigasthiratarah hasta pankajam tvam. Bhagavan assumed a form on top of the mountain, and then he placed his lotus hand on the mountain to make it steady, and then all the gods are showering flowers from the sky. Abhrande vidigirishadaya pramodade udbhranda nunuvurupatta pushpavarsha. All of them are doing showering flowers and praising Bhagavan. How in every step you have come and help us. Then again in the last sloka, Daityoge Bhujagamughanilena tapte tenaiva tridashakulepi kinchidate karunya tava kila deva parivaha pravarshan amaragana daitya sangan. दैत्यौगे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्या तव किल देव वारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्नमरगणान् न दैत्यसङ्गान्. The churning, they are feeling the intense poisonous breath from the serpent, and so they are again feeling fatigue. दैत्यौगे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि. So they are feeling intense heat on the poisonous flames coming from the serpent's mouth and all over its body. And so again they became tired. Now Bhagavan sent gentle rain from the skies. Pravarshan amaraganan na daityasangan. But the rain only fell on the side of the devatas, because they are always calling Bhagavan for help for everything. So the gentle cooling rain is falling on the asuras and then again relieves their pain. So pravarshan amaraganan na daityasangan udbhramet bahutiminakra chakravale तत्राब्धौ चिरमतिथेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात् उद्भ्रामत् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाणे तत्राब्धौ चिरमतिथेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्. Churning, nothing is happening. This is like very typical, Guruvayurpan will take his own time. So many times we are waiting and waiting for answer to our prayer, but it takes long time. But you have to be persevering and be patient. Like that here, the churning for a long time, nothing happened, and then all aquatic creatures and all are coming out. Crocodile and big fishes and sharks and whales and other aquatic creatures are coming out, but there is no sign of amridam or anything yet. Nothing good is coming. Tatrabdau chiramatithepi nirvikare. And they all got tired. So Bhagavan himself took both sides of Vasuki. He held the mouth, he held the tail, and Bhagavan himself started churning by himself, all by himself. Ekastvam karayuga krishta sarparajah samrajan pavana puresha. Every step you help them, Krishna. When will you solve? When will you cure my disease? Again, at the last line, our Bhattadri says, Samrajan pavana puresha pahi rogan. You're shining brightly, churning the ocean all by yourself. Please cure my ailment. Like this, our Bhattadri offered Canto 27 to Bhagavan. Samrajan pavana puresha pahi rogan. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So next week only we will see what all came from the ocean. Very beautiful chapter when Amridam also comes out. Very beautiful chapter next week. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Sandranandavabodhatmagamανupamidam Kaladeshavadibhyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashadasahasrena Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Dristamatre Punarurupurusharthatmakam Brahma Tattvam Tattavadbhadi Sakshat Gurupavanapure Andabhagyam Janana. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.